Yo, what's up? Welcome back. So glad that you are joining me here live. Welcome back to the live talk. Welcome to LTTV. My name is Latasha LT Jimerson. I'm an author, teacher, book coach, motivational speaker. And tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 parts to an effective memoir. What's up, Christina? Welcome back. This conversation is for people who are thinking about writing a book, right? Like you haven't written it yet. You're pregnant with the idea. It's in your belly. It's in your mind. It's in your mind, body, and soul, right? Somebody told you should write a book. Somebody encouraged you. You've thought about it. You've dreamed about it, but you just haven't done it yet, right? This conversation is for you if you have already written a book, but you have never written a memoir. It's a completely different animal than anything else in the world. And I want you to really listen to this, take a lot of notes. And I want you to absolutely connect with me after this because we need to talk about your memoir. You need to have someone to bounce your ideas off of. And matter of fact, there's a question that came to me and it was, how do I know if my memoir is good enough? That's literally the name of this live talk. How do I know if my memoir is good enough? So I'm going to talk about how you know if your memoir is good enough, right? And then I'm also going to talk to you about what are the 5 parts to a memoir to make sure that it's good enough, right? We want to make sure there's a process to this. There's a formula to this. And this is what I do every single day for myself and also for my clients. And my clients, right? Like a lot of times people have stories and they don't know how to tell it. They don't know how to tell it to where it's compelling and powerful and impactful. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight as well. And if you have a group, a women's group, a church group, a school group, a university group, if you have a library group, a business group, a Chamber of Commerce group that needs to hear this message and you need to hire a speaker, contact me. Contact me. I have openings right now. A deal just fell through and I have openings for February, March, and April right now to be on your stage. So let me know if your group is ready for this message and we'll get something on the calendar. We'll book it. And I will come out and share my wisdom, knowledge with you and with your group. And maybe we can get together and some of y'all will create some memoirs. Because that would make my heart so happy. So we're officially going to start right at 6 o'clock. It's 5:52 Eastern time. I am going to spend a few minutes introducing myself to you. For those of you that know me but don't quite know a lot about me, I'm going to share a little bit about me, why I created this group, and how I came up with this topic. I never talk about things that people don't want to hear. So my topics always come from someone's question or from a conversation that I was either eavesdropping on or a conversation that was being had between me and another person. So a little bit about me. This entire journey, my whole life changed completely in 2017 when I wrote my first book. It just happened to be a memoir and I wasn't planning for it to be a memoir. All I was doing was listening. I'm a Christian woman, so I was listening to the Holy Spirit. I was praying to God and I was asking God, is there anything else that I should be doing with my life? Because I was so bored. I was a high school history teacher. I was raising 3 kids. I was going to church. I was volunteering. I was doing all the things, taking the kids to practice, packing the lunches and all that stuff. And I was bored because I was in a routine and I was kind of stuck in a rut. Not kind of, I actually was stuck in a rut. And I was feeling really like a lot of anxiety and some depression. And I was just like, what is wrong with me? And I was having one of those midlife crises. They talk about the midlife crises. I think I was about 40. Yeah, people say between 35 and 40, that's where you have that midlife crisis. And so I was about 40 years old. Yeah, because this was about, what was this, 2017? Hold on, let me do the math real quick. Just to double check. So it's 2024 minus 2017. 7 years ago. So I was 41 because I just turned 48 yesterday. Thank you for the happy birthdays, everybody. I love it. So I was 41 years old when I went through my major midlife crisis. And I was on my knees every day, and I was in the closet crying myself to sleep every night. And I was praying. I had my Bible. I set up my whole war room. Remember that movie, War Room? I set up my whole war room where I was doing some spiritual warfare in the closet. And so I literally named my memoir Secrets from My Closet, because that's where I did most of my praying and meditating and writing. Literally, I had my laptop in there and I was writing and writing and writing. And some nights I fell asleep in there. And that's how the book opens. It starts, the very first chapter says, "Welcome to my world. I am in my closet on the floor in a fetal position, crying myself to sleep again." That's how I start my book. And I walk you through what led me to that point and why I was in there, right? I walked the reader through that whole experience, and we dug deep. I dug deep. I went into my journals, my diaries, and I asked myself, what is it that people need to know? What is it that people will be able to really connect with and learn from? And I put that in the book. I threw it out into the world, right? I didn't really want anybody to buy it because I was so scared and insecure. I was like this. I was hoping nobody would buy it. But I put it on Amazon. I went on Facebook, and I was brand new to Facebook in 2017. I was brand new. And so my classmates, my college friends, high school friends. Soleil Rain, hello, beautiful queen. Thank you for showing up tonight. I appreciate you. We're talking about memoirs and why we need to write them and why we need to promote them and why we need to focus on getting our message into the world so that people can be blessed. So that's what we're talking about. But I'm giving a little background on me and my story and how I ended up sitting in this spot where I am today. And it never would have happened without my memoir. And I'm so grateful. I'm so happy and grateful that God pushed me and the Holy Spirit prompted and guided me to get that memoir done. And so if you have a memoir right now and you're like, I don't know if it's good enough, that's why we're here, right? Like if you're like, I have something, it's on my computer, but I don't know. I don't know if I want anybody to read it. That was me. I don't know. It's like that movie Carrie. They're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you. Like that was the record that was playing in my head when I first started putting out content. I was like, I don't know if they're going to laugh at me. I'm going to get humiliated. Da, 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 da. All those things went through my mind. I had to ignore all the inner critic. I had to ignore the inner critics. I think I have more than one inner critics. I think I have a negative Nancy and a chatty Cathy inside of me. Or negative Nelly, you know. I think I have multiple. Because at any given time, you know, one of them is chattering and I'm like, shut up, go sit down, get in the back. I have a job to do, right? We have to push past, we have to keep going. We got to do that for ourselves. And so while we're on here, we've got 2 minutes until we officially start. Do me a favor and go ahead and share this video with someone. Like it, engage with it, write something in the comments. If you've learned something so far, put a thumbs up or a smiley face or a heart. I love the hearts. because Facebook rewards me. They give me money and they also give me more visibility, which is something that I really appreciate because I provide content that people benefit from and it helps them. I give information that doesn't just give you information. I give information that causes a transformation. And I've been told this multiple times by multiple different people, past, present, future clients, friends, colleagues, coworkers, church mates, people who met me here on Facebook. They tell me all the time, your content provides inspiration. Like, thank you. And I'm like, this is God. This is God. God gave me a message and a big mouth. And I'm going to use it. And I'm going to do it until the wheels fall off, right? Hey, Nigel, welcome to the space, King. Good to see you here. And so do me that favor because we're getting ready to start right now. It's 6 o'clock. But before we officially start, please like this video, share this video with someone who you know needs to be in this room. I want you to drop a heart, drop an emoji, a thumbs up. I really love the hearts. The hearts are amazing. Facebook gives me rewards every time I get stars, hearts, thumbs up, comments. It's amazing. And I love it. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's get into this content because I can't contain myself because I like to talk about memoirs all day long. So I have some notes in front of me. So I'm going to be going over my notes. But I'm also going to continue sharing with you a little bit about me so you know who this information is coming from. This information is coming from a high school history teacher. That is in my blood by trade, right? I did that for 20 years. And I started publishing in 2017 and I was 41 years old, going through a midlife crisis, asking God, what is there for me to do? Because I'm raising the kids, I'm teaching, I'm volunteering, I'm going to church, I'm doing the fundraisers, right? I'm packing the lunches. Please, God, is there anything else that I'm supposed to be doing? Because this is not fulfilling. That was my conversation with God. And God was like, you need to just write a book and see where that goes. And I was like, no, that's okay. Anything else? You ever do that? You ask God for guidance and direction, and God provides you with the people and the places and the circumstances and the opportunities, and you're like, no, it's okay. I'm good. I don't want that opportunity. How about this one? And then you look at other people to see what opportunities they have, and you're like, yeah, I think I want to do what she's doing. No, you have to stay in your lane, boo. And so that's what God did for me. He said, you need to write your memoir. I didn't even know it was a memoir at that time. And so I'm going to teach you tonight, what is a memoir? What is a autobiography? What is a biography? What is nonfiction? What is fiction? I'm going to go through that stuff just in case I have someone who's starting at like 0 and they're like, huh, what's happening right now? I'm going to go through that for you. I'm also going to teach you the 5 components of a great memoir. It's going to be exciting. And then for those of you that are ready to get your memoir done, let's go. Let's go. I'm going to show you how you can connect with me and drop some links if you're interested in getting started like immediately. My calendar is open. I had a couple of deals break and I had a couple of cancellations. So my calendar for February is wide open. If you're looking for a book coach to help you through this process, and if you have a group of people and you're looking for a speaker, my calendar's open for February and March. If you want a speaker to come out and talk to your group about this very topic, because this is so relevant, especially for educators, servant leaders, pastors, preachers, ministers, right? My clients are very diverse, but we are all servant leaders and we love to show people how to transform their lives through words. We are wordsmiths. I love working with people who are wordsmiths because I love words. Okay, so that's just a little bit about me. When my memoir came out, people bought it. I had a party at my house. People showed up, standing room only. And I was just sitting in the, living room area, and we had chairs everywhere. And I remember my kids were helping me collect the money from people buying books, and they were answering the door and letting people in. And I was just sitting in the middle of the living room in this like high chair, like a boosted up chair. And I remember I was so just like, wow. Wait, hold on. Someone's sending me a message right now saying she's looking for, let's see. I'm already live, darling. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me send her this live. She doesn't realize that we're in the group. We're not on Zoom. She's looking for a Zoom link. Hold on just a second. Let's see, where are we? Which group am I live in? Oh, I'm live in my other group. Oh, okay. So it's not this one. Your First Book. I'm not live in that group. Sorry, guys, if I caused confusion. I'm live in the group that says how to relaunch your book. Okay, so let me send her this. There I am. We're live. Okay, let me send this over. Oh, thank you, Nigel. Thank you. So on my computer, I can see your comments, but on my phone, I'm live on my phone. I can't see any comments on my phone, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and send Renee this notification that we are live. We are live. There we go. Perfect. So now I can send this out to, yep, I'm going to go ahead and send it to her as well. Perfect. All righty. Thank you guys for your patience. I appreciate it. All right, let me close this out and go back to my notes. I have some really good notes here for you guys on memoirs tonight. Okay, perfect. Hey, there's Sarah. What's up, Sarah? Do me a favor, Sarah. I want you to be like Soleil Rain. She invited Nigel into the space. Sarah, go ahead and invite a friend who you know needs to be in the room talking about this topic tonight. Invite a friend, a church mate, a family member, whoever it is that you know. They are an author. They need to become published, right? That's what we're all about in here, supporting each other. And so I've already shared a little bit about me, my personal story with my memoir. And now I'm getting ready to shift and go into the differences between the memoir, the autobiography, the biography. And then I'm going to break down the 5 components of a great memoir. So you need to have a pen and a piece of paper so that you can take notes, because this is going to be a notes heavy training tonight. It's a live talk, but it's also a training because this is something that I've been teaching since 2017. And everything that I'm going to be breaking down to you is going to be found here. And I'll show you how to get access to that book in a minute. But everything that I teach, I put it in books and I put it in online courses, and I talk about it in my live streams. And this is one of the ways that authors can open up multiple streams of income and become the brand that they always wanted to be, right? Like, you should always think of your book as a product, and you should always think of your product as being a part of a brand and a company. And so you are the brand. You are the company, right? And this kind of goes a little bit into sales and marketing, which I'm going to talk about in a separate live talk. But I want you to make a mental shift right now. I want you to think of yourself not as just a creative, not as just a writer, right? You're not just a creator. You're not just a writer. You're not just an author. You're also a coach, a teacher, and a speaker. See, all of those careers are born out of creativity. So I want you to Make that mind shift right now and stop just telling yourself that you're just a poet. You're just a songwriter. You're just an author. You're just a writer. Don't say those kinds of things to yourself. I want you to be the powerhouse that you really are. Because when you start creating like the way that God wants you to create, then you really start moving mountains. Then you really start influencing people. Because we're not about information, we're about transformation. I'm going to keep saying that to you all night long, every single day, because that's what it is. When people read your words, when they buy your book, they're not buying just for the paper. They're not buying just for the beautiful illustrations and the stories. Like, they want something about their life to change as a result of reading the words that you put together. So I want you to elevate yourself. I want you to stand up, sit up tall. I want you to be super enthusiastic about what it is that you have to say. And I want you to know that your life is worthy. You don't have to be a celebrity to write a memoir. Hell, I had no friends on Facebook when I first wrote my memoir in 2017. I had no email list. I didn't even know what an email list was. I was like, huh? I had no website. It was just me and my big mouth telling people about my book. Buy my book. And I didn't know anything about target audience like I do today. I didn't know anything about sales, marketing, none of that. Well, I had a little bit of knowledge about it, but I didn't really know how to apply it to my book. See, that's the thing. We might sell other things. We might sell other people. We might sell other ideas. But when it comes to selling ourselves, that's where we fall short, because we don't value our ideas the way we should. We don't value us as we should. How do I know? When's the last time you actually promoted yourself? When's the last time you gave yourself a compliment? When's the last time you stood in the mirror and said any positive affirmations like, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, I'm amazing, I'm smart, I have wisdom, I have knowledge, I have understanding, right? When's the last time you ever just really looked yourself in the face and was like, you are amazing? Start doing that. When was the last time you went in front of a group of people and said, hey, listen up. I have an idea. This is what I think about that, right? Or here, I have a book. You have a problem. And I have a book, and this book is the solution to your problem. When's the last time you said that to someone? Never. Because it's uncomfortable. Just the thought of it makes you want to throw up in your mouth. That's how I used to feel. Just the thought of promoting myself used to make my stomach hurt. Because it just feels so unnatural until you train your brain and your body and your soul to do different. That's when the game changes for you. So let's get into this. Let's break this down. Let me tell you some things about memoirs. Okay. So number one, let's get into the total definition of memoir. It's a nonfiction. Okay. There's fiction and there's nonfiction. Fiction is characters that are not real. And nonfiction are stories that are real, based on true events, okay? So a memoir is a nonfiction narrative in which the author shares their memories, memories, from a specific time period, I want you to remember that, or reflects upon a string of occurrences throughout their life. I'll read it again. A memoir is a nonfiction narrative in which the author shares their memories from a specific time period or reflects upon a string of themed occurrences throughout their life. Okay. So now the question is, well, what is a narrative? A narrative is a spoken or written account of connected events. It's a story. A narrative is a story. It's a story that you tell, and you have to become a better storyteller. And that's how you make a mark in this world and create a legacy for your lineage. That's how you do it. You tell a better story. Okay. Now, what is an autobiography, and what's the difference between an autobiography and a memoir? So autobiography is a factual and historical account of one person's entire life from beginning to end. Okay, I'll read that again. An autobiography is a factual and historical account of one's entire life from beginning to end. So that's an autobiography. Auto means self. So it's written by oneself. It's something you write about yourself. But wait a minute, I thought a memoir was something that you write about yourself. What's up with that? Is it the same thing? The autobiography covers your entire life in chronological order. It's a timeline. I was born, I was raised, I was educated, I got my career, I have my family, got married, all the way up to the point where you are where you are today, right? A memoir is just about multiple occurrences, turning points, important events, probably 2 to 3 big events that really shook you, shaped you, and molded you into who you are today. So a memoir is kind of like a series of snapshots. An autobiography is a whole timeline of your whole life. That's the difference. Now, what is a biography? A biography is a written history of a person's life. So it can be about anyone. You can write a biography on someone that you have studied in history. An autobiography is what you're writing about yourself. A memoir is what you're writing about yourself, but you're just giving us a spotlight on certain events. So I'll give you an example. My memoir, and I didn't know this until recently, my memoir is specifically about the importance of mental health, the importance of prayer, meditation, and writing, right? Lifestyle. It's all about my struggle through depression, my diagnosis with bipolar, and how I continue, even today, continue to manage my emotions appropriately in order to be successful in family, relationships, and career. Right? Hey, Crystal Simmons, welcome to the memoir conversation. So glad you're here. I'm taking a picture of the screen so I can make sure I connect with these people later on, the folks who are here watching. Thank you, Christina, for being in the room. Thank you, Soleil Rain, for being in the room. Thank you, Nigel and Sarah and Crystal. Thank you. Continue to share this video with other people. Continue to give me hearts, thumbs up. Oh, I gotta take a picture of the hearts. Wow, I got a picture of the hearts. Thank you so much. I can't even see who they came from. Darn. I'll find out after though. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, so my memoir is about a very specific topic in my life. Like, I've been through a lot, all kinds of different childhood traumas and all kinds of stuff. But the thing that has affected my life more than anything else is my diagnosis of bipolar in 2007. So my focus for my book is how my life changed when I got the diagnosis, how it was amazing and a blessing, and how it was a horrible nightmare. It was both. Because I didn't know what was wrong with me. I knew something was going on, something was happening, but I didn't have the words. Hey, Eric. What's up, Eric? I'm so glad you're in the space. We're talking about memoirs. If you haven't written one yet, you got to get one out. You got to get at least one out. I'm getting ready to start working on my second memoir because my life has been amazing. The first half was rocky. Hey, look. The first part of my life was rocky road. The next part of my life is cookies and cream. How do I know? Because I'm making it that way. Because now I have more control, right? So the things that I spotlighted in my memoir, my first one was, I spotlighted how I found out that I was clinically depressed. What led me to go get the diagnosis. And then once I got the bipolar diagnosis, what happened after that? And then that's where it stops. And so now I have a whole nother part of my life from 2017 until now that you guys need to know about. A whole bunch of stuff has been happening over the past 7 years. So that's what my next memoir is going to be about. The past 7 years, what I've been going through. The drama. But it's always the trials and tribulations that make such a great story, isn't it? We hate it. We don't want to live it, but it's for a reason. And so that's my breakdown on the difference between a memoir, autobiography, biography. And so now I'm going to go into the 5 components of an excellent memoir. I want you to write these down because when you learn these 5 components, you are going to be able to wow people. And you're not making up anything. This is not a fake story. It's not fake news. You are telling a story about yourself that is so real because you've lived through it. But you're telling it in a way that's entertaining and compelling, and you're leaving people with a moral of a story and a lesson. That's what you're doing. You're not vomiting on the page like bleh, all of your emotional trauma. People say writing is healing, and it is. Writing is therapy, and it is. But this is not for you to dump out all of your garbage, your head trash, and then just leave it there for people to shuffle through, right? You're going to open the story, tell the story, close the story, wrap it up, put a pretty bow on it, and market it and sell it. That's what I teach people how to do all day long and twice on Sunday. I mostly work with women, but I can help anyone tell their story in a compelling way to where people are like, wow, I want to know more. Like cliffhangers and all that. Foreshadowing and all that. Right? So here we go. 5 components of a really great memoir. How do I know? Because I created this formula. So number 1, the first component, and these are in order. You have to follow these in order. They're sequential. Number 1 is you have to have a wonderful hook. So it has to be something that's spicy and juicy. It has to be something that's going to stop the scroll, right? Because people have an attention span of a gnat. So you have to be able to get people to stop the stroll. It's got to be like 5 seconds. What's up, VK? Hello, beautiful queen. I'm so glad you're in here. So glad to see you. Thank you for helping to promote this event. I appreciate you. You are amazing. We are on the part where I'm giving you the 5 components of a great memoir. And number 1 is you've got to start out with a hook. Every great book has an amazing hook. And every amazing hook has a phenomenal image. You've got to give people images. You've got to use words that are spicy enough to get people to stop in their tracks and say, what? What the what? Huh? Like you've got to create questions in people's minds, right? So when I say hook, you're going to start with a bang. You're going to start with the best part of the story, but you're not going to tell the whole story. You're just going to throw something out as breadcrumbs and just see what happens. For my hook, I put my hook in my title. I also put my hook in the very first chapter. The chapter opens like this. It says, here I am again on the floor in my closet in a fetal position, crying myself to sleep. This is what I do every night. My husband's asleep. My kids are asleep. Nobody knows where I am or what I'm doing. That's how I start my memoir. That's literally I was in the closet writing this memoir in the moment. And I was like, that's it. That's going to be the opening. And then when it came to the title, I was like, what should the title be? I kind of racked my brain over the title a little bit. And then I went to sleep. And then I woke up one morning and I was like, oh, that's it. And it was so basic and so obvious. Secrets from My Closet. That's the big title. Because nobody knew what I was doing in there. It was my war room. It was my prayer room. It was where I fought all my demons. It's where I went to war with myself. And I had to overcome myself, the negative pieces and parts, the broken parts of myself. I had to fix them with God's help, right? I had to go in and get under the Spirit. I had to get under the influence of the Holy Spirit. And that's the only way I was able to produce my work, is because I was like not of my own brain. I had to use something way beyond my own brain. And so that was the title. That was the hook for the book. And that was the title, Secrets from My Closet. And then the subtitle was, or is, because it's still on Amazon, Unveiling the Past to Heal in the Future. And guess what? Today's the future and I'm still healing. I told you I got that diagnosis in 2007. Once I got that diagnosis, it set me free. I knew I was depressed. I knew I had anxiety. I knew I was dealing with depression, but I didn't know it was clinical. I didn't know what the name was. And so when they gave me the name bipolar, I was like, oh, now I can research it and know what I'm dealing with. And I could tell my kids, I could educate my kids and say, this is what mommy's dealing with. And they could research it and they could support me. And we could look at all different type of lifestyle changes, because that's what I had to do, is completely change my entire lifestyle and minimize the stress, right? Minimize the overwhelm and all the responsibilities. And I had to delegate, right? Us women, we're not always all that good at delegating, right? Because we want to do it all. We want to do it all because we want it done right. That's what my mom used to say. If you want something done right, you got to do it your damn self. Oh, that's one of the things that wasn't correct. Sorry, Mom, that wasn't correct. But that's what I had to do. Hello, Fatima West. Thank you for being in here. I appreciate you. Make sure you send this video to a friend. Make sure you thumbs up, heart it, like it. I appreciate that. Facebook rewards me. And then I just keep creating more beautiful content for people to be blessed by. So here we go. That's the first component of a great memoir, is there's a hook. There's something that brings people in, like, what? Huh? What is she doing in her closet in a fetal position, crying herself to sleep at night? What happened? Did somebody break up with her? Like, that's what you gotta bring people in and make them curious. What happened? Did somebody die? Did she get fired? What's going on? Did they file bankruptcy? Like, yeah, all those things did happen too. But I mean, like, you got to get people's juices flowing. Like, what's going on? So that's the hook part. That's the number one. Number two, a lot of people don't talk about this part because we don't really like this part. Number two is your thesis statement. Now we're going to talk about college again. We're going to talk about high school English, because I'm also an English teacher. So we're going to talk about that too. Your thesis statement is very simple. All it is what's your point? Why are people reading this? Tell people why they're reading this. It also includes who needs to read it, right? So for me, my memoir is mostly for women over 40 who are going through a midlife crisis, who are asking God, please, God, tell me if there's anything else you want me to do in this world, because I'm doing all these things and this ain't it. I'm not fulfilled and I'm not happy. I don't know why I'm snapping at people and I don't feel healthy and I'm grumpy. Like, what's wrong with me? Right? Like, it's funny, but it's not funny because it's real. But that's who my memoir was for. And I didn't know this at the time. So I didn't have a thesis at the time, right? My new one will have a thesis. Okay, my new one will definitely have a thesis. But you have to have this so that people know. You put this in the book and you also put this on the back of the book. Who is this book for? You need to share that. And here's the beautiful part about it. There's a way that you can figure it out, because who the book is for is you. And who are the people that are just like you? That's the beauty of the memoir. People who are just like you are attracted to it. People who look like you, who sound like you, who do the similar kind of job as you, the person that kind of grew up similar to you. That's going to be your core audience. And then those people are going to expose other people to your memoir. And I teach this whole thing about your 3 target audiences. I teach that in my online courses and in my coaching program. So if you want to know about the core audiences, you can send that question to me in the DM or the instant messenger. And I'll get back to you on that. But let's get back to these components. The first component is your hook. You got to have a good hook. Every good book has a great hook. All right. Then you have to have your thesis statement, which tells us who it's for and why they need to read it. And then you need to go through a little bit. Step 3, you need to go through a little bit of chronology. Remember, this is not an autobiography. This is a memoir. So you're only going to do maybe 3 or 4 big events, but you got to tell us, when did these things happen? Was it around your birth story? Because sometimes some people have an amazing birth story that they've been told. Or does it go around your early childhood? Does it go around your adolescent time, your teenagehood? When did these pivotal events, these milestones, these things that changed you, when did they happen? So you have to give a little bit of chronology. That's number 3. And then component number 4 is you got to go back to the hook and you got to talk about this bang thing, this like huge revelation. It's like, bam, this happened in my life and it tore me up. This thing happened and it knocked me out. That's what you need to talk about. And when you talk about that, you got to give the nitty gritty details and you got to go play by play. That's what's going to keep the people. The hook is they're going to open the book. But these details, that's what's going to keep them in the book. Excuse me, we've got some drama going on outside. Jesus, take the wheel on that. All I could do is pray. Okay. All right. They're gone. So that's step 4, okay? You got to give us the play-by-play, so we know detail by detail what happened. How did this thing explode? Boom, right? You already hinted about it a little bit in the hook, but now the step 4 is really you're digging deep, okay? And then step 5 is your conclusion, and you're going to wrap this thing up with a pretty bow, and you're going to tell us what is the moral of the story. What is the lesson? What did you learn? That's it. All right. So there's the hook, the thesis, the chronology, the turning point, and the conclusion. That is how you write a powerful memoir that makes readers say, oh my God, I need to know more. Like when my book was done, people were asking me, when are you going to write another book? And I was like, huh? Are you kidding me? Like, you don't know how I pulled my soul out to write that one. And it was just a short little book, 112 pages. Most people read it in like 4 hours. My kids read it. I mean, it was just knocked it out. But it was so powerful and so potent that people were like, oh my God, I have to know. Like, I have so many questions. Because I was deep and detailed, but not really, right? Like I let people in, I opened the door, but then I closed it. And there's a certain way to do that. There's a way that you tell a story. to keep people intrigued and very excited, but also a little bit in the dark so they can ask you the question and you can answer it. And so when I had my party, there were people at my house for 4 hours and they were asking me questions. All I was doing was sitting in my living room, reading. Sorry, it says disconnected for a second, the signal. All I was doing was sitting in my living room, answering questions, listening to people interact and talk about my book. And it was phenomenal. And I was like, wow, God, thank you for this. I was like, is that you, Jesus? Is that you? I was like, did you just open up a whole new career opportunity for me? Like I was sitting in the moment thinking I just shifted from high school history teacher, mom of 3, and now I'm an author. And then I shifted from, okay, now I'm an author. Now I'm a speaker. Oh my gosh. And then a couple years later, people started saying, can you help me write a book? I need to write a book. Show me how to do this. And I'm like, oh my God, now I'm a coach. I can't do this one by one. I probably should put this in a course or a book or a website or something, a YouTube channel. So I created all of it. Podcast. I did all of it. And now I break everything down for my clients step by step by step by step. And we get memoirs done in 90 days or less with minimal stress. I walk them through, I hold their hands and walk them through this process because it is excruciating. It is emotional. It is painful. And it is very, very deep. But what comes out on the other side is a powerful message for people to be blessed by. And so that's all I wanted to share with you tonight. If you have questions, go ahead and post the questions here in the comments. Or if you just want to ask me a question privately off camera, go ahead and send me a message in Facebook Messenger and I will answer that for you. For those of you that are like, I have a memoir and I want to get it done. How do I get started? Like, what's next? Like, I already know that I need to just get this done because people have been telling me. My friend, beautiful science teacher, she told me back in 2005, you need to write a book. I said no. I waited until 2017 and I called her and I was like, will you help me? She's like, yes, I told you I'll help you. I know the process. I'm already published. Let's do it. And I was like, okay. Thank God she didn't judge me and say, girl, you done been pregnant for 12 years with this damn book. When you gonna get it out? She just kindly waited and stood on the sideline and waited for me to overthink and waited for me to procrastinate and finally say, okay, I'm going to do it. And so for those of you that are like, I need somebody to walk me through this thing step by step by step, let's go. For those of you that you know you're ready to be ready and you've already been ready like yesterday, you need to make a decision. How do you learn best? Do you learn in a group or do you learn one-on-one? I have 2 programs for people who want to get published immediately, like in 90 days. I've got 2 programs. One program is for people who love to learn with a group. And I've got another program for people who just want me to walk you through the process one-on-one. Just private sessions, private lessons, private teachings, editing, formatting, all that good stuff. The one-on-one package is $10,000. That's for 90 days. The group program is $5,000, and that's also for 90 days. You work in a group. That's the difference. Now, for those of you that are like, well, I kind of just want to do like a DIY type of thing. I just kind of want the instructions and I just want to know what to do and have it laid out and do it myself. For those of you that are that way, I have an online course, which is $2,500. And again, that course breaks it down quickly and simply so you can get it done in actually 30 days. I've had some clients get it done in 20 days, and I had one client get her stuff done in 5 days. And so you don't need more time, you need more focus. If you're ready to focus on a book and you know this is your time to do it, get laser focused and you'll get it done, right? For those of you that are like, you know what? I don't want the private. I don't want the group. I don't want the DIY online course. I just want a workbook. All right. So you can get the workbook today. It has everything in it that I just talked about. Plus, it has worksheets that you can actually download and print out and have a step-by-step, day-by-day. The workbook right now is $105. That includes the shipping and the handling. And you get 3 bonuses. Let me go through my bonuses for this. If you order your workbook today, you will get 3 things in addition to the workbook. So you will get this hardcover workbook, right? You will also get the digital version. So you'll get the ebook copy so you can use it on your computer, on your phone, wherever you are with whatever digital device you have, a tablet, you can pull it up there. You'll also get a brand new outline. I just created a new outline for people who are like scatterbrained like me. Like I have thoughts all over my mind. I'm like, what am I thinking? Put it inside of the outline that I provide you and you will be all the way organized. Your whole life will be clear, right? So that's what the outline does for you. And then third, you'll get a clarity call with me so that I can go over your work and see what you have done, right? I will read through your stuff. I will help you get your mess all the way cleaned up and turned into a message, right? And so those are the things that I offer. Those are the ways that you can work with me. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I am checking my Facebook Messenger. And so those of you that know that you're ready, let's go. Let's stop waiting. Let's stop hesitating. Hey, Bertina. Let's stop hiding. Let's go ahead and get published, get the memoir out the way. Because guess what? I wrote my memoir and then I wrote another book. And another book, and another book. And guess what? I would have never written all those books. I'm up to 8 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books that I've written and published. I would have never made it to 8 books if I didn't start with that memoir, because I bared my soul, right? I bared my soul and I went through a healing process that could have never taken place otherwise. And so there you go. That is the memoir. And if you're wondering, is your memoir good enough? That's not the question. That's actually a trick question. You shouldn't be asking that. You should be asking, when am I going to get my memoir done? Is now the right time? Or maybe 2025 is the right time? Because you never know. You don't know if it's good enough until you've had someone read it. And you need to run it by a professional. And you need to run it by a professional who has gotten results. Hello. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. That's what I do. This is the love of my life. So if you know that you're ready, I can't wait to see you in my inbox. Have a beautiful evening. Make sure you come back to this video and you watch it again and again, because I gave a whole lot of information in a very short period of time. But that's what I do. I'm a teacher. All right. So you have a great evening. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you in the next live talk, which will probably be next week. Bye.